Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today we are going to talk about the passenger locator form that you need to fill out if you're going to travel to Italy, as well as some updates. We're also going to talk about Medallion batteries having a little bit of trouble, and so I would first like to welcome all of our Let's Go family members. It is really wonderful to be here with you. Also, welcome to everyone who is new. We are really glad that you came across our channel and hope that you'll decide to stay with us. If anyone hasn't subscribed yet, we would just really appreciate it if you would subscribe to our channel, and I think it's really going to help you. I do my best to keep you up to date with everything that you actually need to know that you've got to do if you are going to go on a cruise soon, and as well as what you need to do if you're going. It helps you decide if you want to go now, and gives you information that you need. And we have an amazing Let's Go family here as well that adds so much information, so many wonderful experiences, and we truly do have a wonderful time together. So first of all, several of you have been asking about the passenger locator form that you are required to fill out if you are going to go to Italy. So you can be going to Italy to visit family, you can be going to tour on your own, you can be going on a cruise, but if you're going to go to Italy, passengers are required to fill out this passenger locator form. So I've got the link in the description box underneath this video so that it is easy for you to go to. You'll be able to see some information about it, and then there are links to take you to the actual form to fill out. So I have mine filled out. I went through and did it so that if I came to any glitches, I would be able to tell you what I noticed. And so first of all, they have you have to register for an account, and to do that you look at, when you come to the login page, just underneath it says register. So all you have to do is put in your email address and put a password, and then it'll send you an email, and you just have to go into that email and verify your account. Once you click on that link, it takes you where you can sign in again and start the form. So I wanted to let you know though, make sure that you put an email address that you are likely to check when you're on your trip, okay? So that if there is any questions or if they contact you about anything, that you will be able to see that and reply. So they ask you just basic things. As you go through the form, it's kind of interesting to me. They ask what your airline is, your flight number, your seat number, if it's a direct flight or an indirect flight, where you fly from, like in the United States. So I put the United States. Our flight goes out of JFK, so I selected that. So as many of you know, we fly from Salt Lake. We're going to JFK and then JFK to Rome. So they want to know the flight that as you leave your home country that you arrive there. And so like if we were going to go from like JFK to Paris and then to Rome, we would have to say that it was an indirect flight. But since ours is direct, you just put JFK, like I said, the flight number, your seat number. When you have to select your departure date and time, and a little clock comes up and a little calendar, so that's pretty straightforward. And then you also have to select which final airport you're coming to there in Italy and what time you're going to arrive there. They're going to also ask for your passport information, your like your name, your address. It was kind of funny to me on the address, they don't ask, like they ask your house number. They didn't ask for our whole address. So I thought that was interesting. Now I do want to tell you this, when you get to the part that is your temporary address, which is where you're not living, it's where you're going to be there, they have like a little drop down thing you can select from. And so since we are going to go to Rome early, a few days early, we selected hotel, and then I put in the name of our hotel and the address for it. And that, if you are flying in and you are not staying overnight there in Italy first and you're just going to go get on a cruise, they actually, one of the options is a cruise ship. And so once you select that, I checked and it just asks for the name of the cruise ship and your cabin number. And so it's really not, it's not hard at all, but I just wanted to let you know to have that information as you go to fill it out. And they, other than that, it's really straightforward. It's not hard at all, and then you just submit it, okay? So yeah, it's really very easy. I did not do the final step of submitting it because today is Friday, April 22nd, and we are not going to leave until May 24th. And so or maybe we're leaving the 23rd. Anyway, it's a while, and you know, sometimes flight numbers change and arrival times change or departure times change just a little bit. So I'm going to finalize it and submit it right before we, you know, when it's much closer to time to go. And so I just wanted to make you aware of that. It's really easy to do. Other than that, when you're planning to go on your cruise, if you're going to go on a cruise out of Italy, you need to do this form. We are also going to do that Verifly app I told you about a little bit ago. If you're not familiar with it, I'll put the name Verifly under this video, but it doesn't have a website. You can only do it on your phone. And so we are going to do that as well, because that will have it. Yesterday when I was telling you about that, the attestation form that you need to do to fly back into the United States, it also asks you for that information when you are in that Verifly app. So to be truthful, I'm going to do both. We're going to fill out the attestation on our phone, that form, before we come home, and we're also going to have it in the Verifly app, so that hopefully when we get home, it'll just go much more smoothly coming back into the United States. But also, if you are not, maybe I should do another video about global entry. If anybody's not familiar with global entry, tell me. It's really very handy. When you come back into the United States, there's a whole separate line for global entry, and it is way faster. So if you're, it's especially helpful if you are entering in a port that is super busy. If you fly directly like into Salt Lake City here, it's usually not bad, but we don't have all of our international nonstops back that we had before COVID happened. And so on the way home, we're going through, I want to say JFK, either JFK or Atlanta, and both of those are really busy. If you have never entered the United States through JFK, plan plenty of time between your flights, because it takes a long time. But anyway, with global entry, the line is shorter. And so if you want me to do a video about global entry, I will do that. And it lasts several years. You sign up. It's not expensive. It's really easy. And along with it, you get TSA pre-check. So just wanted to put that there. But anyway, if you've got any questions about this, let me know. Like I said, it is very straightforward. It's not hard. Oh, and you know what? When you are doing it, they only ask, as you go to enter your temporary address that you're going to be staying at when you're not at home, clearly, because you're in Italy, they just want to know the first place that you're going. And so we put the hotel, and we don't have to follow up and say a cruise ship. They just want the first place that you're going to stay. So even if you were switching hotels, you know, while you were in Rome, or going to another hotel in another city, whatever, you just have to put the first place. So I thought that's nice. You don't have to do a whole list. So like I said, any questions, let me know. So I apologize. I got lost there a little bit. So we're going to do this to go. We will be making sure that and I'll walk you through all of the COVID requirements as well, but if you are vaccinated and boosted, you don't need to worry about it. If your vaccine is older than, I believe, 270 days, you're going to have to either get your booster or be tested. And so I will do a follow-up email on that. I'll gather everything and be ready to talk to you about that. But I just wanted people to know, I know people are worried about this form, and I don't think we need to worry. It's really easy. Now, the next thing that I wanted to let everyone know about is we've got a couple of updates, as well as some information on the Medallion batteries. So a big thank you to our Let's Go family member who talked about this. He said some of the people on board recently ran into problems with their Medallions having low batteries. These low battery medallions were mailed to us a few weeks before our cruise. If you get on your cruise and notice that your medallion is not working that well, keep in mind that it could be a low battery. For them, they realized that they had to hold their medallion right up to the door panel to get into their cabin. And then another thing they noticed is that when they were trying to locate their travel companions, frequently it wouldn't be able to find them. And then if you order food and drinks on the app, they accidentally are delivered to your stateroom instead of where you really are on the ship. If you're not familiar, if you order food from the app on your phone or in your stateroom, wherever you order food on an app, when you are on the cruise ship, they find you wherever you are and bring the food, the drink, whatever, to wherever you are. And so like he said, if they're bringing it to your stateroom and you're not there, that's a good sign that you need a new medallion. He said none of these things are normal, clearly. So you just go to guest services and let them know that what's going on, and they will give you a brand new medallion. And so remember to keep separate. The Medallion app is the thing that's on your phone or your stateroom TV, however you're doing that. And your medallion is the actual round medallion that they mail to you. And that is what makes all this Locator thing work really well, so that they can deliver things to you, so that they recognize who you are, and so that your travel companions can find you. So I really do appreciate you for bringing this to our attention, because sometimes we might think it's something else like our phone, and it's really the medallion. And so it's great to know what's going on and be able to know how to take care of it. So thank you very, very much. The next thing I'm going to tell you all about is just a couple of updates. And you might recall that I told you a couple of days ago about the trouble that they're having at Heathrow, thanks to Amy sending me that story. So thanks again, Amy, about people are arriving there, especially on British Airways, it sounds like, and not being able to get their luggage either for hours and in some instances for days. And so we have a Let's Go family member here who let us know, John, thank you so much, that they traveled from Los Angeles to Dublin with a stop in Heathrow on April 1st, and all the checked baggage in the flight never left Heathrow, and it took 3 days for their luggage to finally get to them. And so he says, I would recommend another stop until we've heard that they have managed, apparently it's staff shortages, they don't have enough people. And so if anybody has had this experience, John, were you flying on British Airways? Because they just talked about British Airways in the news stories I found, and I haven't found any more with more information than that. So if anybody has flown on a different airline into Heathrow, or just stopped in Heathrow and then proceeded on your trip to another airport, let us know if you were on a different airline and if you had this trouble as well. But that, to me, that's just a heads up that if you are going to be arriving there in Heathrow, allow some extra time. And I know you can't allow days to get your luggage, but just be aware and do the thing that we were talking about the other day. Make sure that in your carry-on you have got like your prescription medicine, an extra change of clothes, anything that you know you absolutely need to have within a couple of days. And you know, I would even suggest, like my husband does not like a carry-on. He does a backpack, puts whatever gear that we think we need in there that he wants to carry for us, and he doesn't like a carry-on. But when we go abroad, we always make him do a carry-on. It sounds mean. I don't make him do anything, but he does a carry-on so that he's able to have those things with us in case our luggage doesn't come. And so just keep that in mind as you're planning your luggage and planning your travel. And then another update that I've got for you is from Dawn, and I really appreciated this. So, you know, we've been talking about the trouble that we've had with the notice on the White Pass Yukon route railway that they're not going to be able to go all the way up into Canada. And he says, I have a small van trip booked through, he just booked it through Locator, planned with Skagway. It's going to go up to Crosstown and the desert. And so he started wondering, after we were talking about the train not being able to go all the way up, and he contacted the tour director there to ask what they're going to need to be able to cross into Canada. And he says, yes, you will need to have your ArriveCan app updated at least 72 hours before your arrival into Canada. And so let me tell you, we know that we have to fill out that ArriveCan app prior to embarkation. Clearly, if you're going to go into Canada, especially on one of these kinds of things, you're going to have to update your ArriveCan app while you are on the ship, unless it's only 72 hours until you get to Skagway. Usually, Skagway is a little bit later on the itineraries as I think about it. I could be wrong, but that's what always sticks in my mind. And so just make sure that you've got your ArriveCan app filled out to embark on the ship, and then you can just switch the dates and time of the arrival and update it once you're on board and you're within that 72 hours of getting there. So anyway, he said the rest of you said reception is very spotty, especially once arriving closer to the border. So I would print them out just in case. Let me know if you have any other questions. Look forward to seeing you this summer. That's what that tour operator said. And so I appreciate that Don said he had the idea that they'll do it and then they're going to take a screenshot of that digital receipt. And that's a really handy way to do it, because when you're on the ship, it's much more of a hassle to go down and get something printed. But it's really easy to just take a screenshot and have it there with you to show the officials. And so I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention, because if that is what's being required for that kind of tour, I think it's going to be required for every tour. And so I would love to hear from any of you. We've got Let's Go family members who are going to be on these really early sailings. So any of you that are doing this, let us all know so that everyone knows what to plan for this summer. That will really help us out. So thank you, and thank you again, Don, for letting us know about that. Now, my last update for you is from Gil or Jill. I apologize, I don't quite know how to pronounce that. And she and her husband are on the Sky Princess still for the next few days. And she says they are heading towards the UK via northern Spain. The weather has been a little bit mixed and the sea has been rough in the Atlantic some of the days. But I love this. The cruise has been lovely. The internet is indeed slow at times, which makes it almost impossible to watch any YouTube or Instagram. And you know, I appreciate them saying that, because sometimes you have enough internet to like go a little slowly to check your email, but sometimes doing other things is just, it's a deal breaker. And this is very helpful. She said they bought the 4-device package, which would make it like when Gordon and I do it, we do it each a phone and each a laptop. But she said they would not do that again. We'll just buy it for 2 devices next time and leave the iPads at home. And that's a really good thing to know, because there's no sense to pay to have your iPads with you if you think you're going to be watching any YouTube or anything else that's going to require a very fast internet connection, because clearly it's not going to do it so much. She said that the anytime dining was okay, but definitely a bit slower than previous times, so it could have been due to a cruise shortage, perhaps, she said. They actually decided to eat in the buffet as they found the choices better, particularly with the salads and vegetables, which they particularly enjoy. So the shows have been good, but only 2 dance theater productions, which is less than normal. The delivery, very British in terms of singers and comedians, I believe, and although they are enjoyable, they have seen better. At the beginning of the cruise, most of the people were wearing their mask indoors, but now it's dropped to about 60% of people are wearing their masks indoors. She's not heard any reports of COVID, but she says, I can't imagine that that would be common knowledge anyway. She says they have been to France, Spain, and Portugal, and they only needed the passenger locator form for Portugal. However, have not been asked to show any documentation or vaccine certificates in any of the ports. And so she said, all in all, they're having a lovely time on their Princess Cruise. So thank you very much for sending us all of that information. I really appreciate that. Helps us know. That gave us a really good snapshot of a lot of things on the ship. And so if anyone else is on any of these cruises, I would thoroughly love to hear from you, because I like to know, since we are going to be going to Europe at the end of May, but also I know that it helps so many of us have a really good idea what's going on. So in any of you out there, let us know. And I have not heard from anyone sailing in the Caribbean lately, and so I'd love to hear from all of you. Let us know how things are going. If any of you have any particular questions, just put it in the questions below, and I will get back to you. Tomorrow I'm going to have questions. Maybe we should talk about questions more on Saturday, because we've got some questions some Let's Go family members would like some help with. So I look forward to talking with you about that tomorrow. If any of you appreciate these updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up, because that really does help us out. And in the comments today, I was wanting us to talk about, I was wondering, what are you all thinking about the internet on the ships? I know that we have talked before. Some of you it's a deal breaker and you're not going. Some of you don't mind. I would like to hear what you think about that, as well as, do any of you have travel plans that go to Heathrow? Is anything going on there making you think of changing anything? We don't go through Heathrow this time, but arriving there and planning to go on a cruise in Southampton, I think might be a little challenging. I think it's worthwhile to know, though, that Princess is amazing at connecting you with your luggage. They do a really, really good job of that. So even if the cruise sails and your luggage isn't with you, they continue to track it down and get it to you as quickly as they can on the ship. But I would just love to hear what you all are thinking about that. So I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.